Hold on to your hats, folks, because we're about to delve into the wacky world of legal fiction. Now, before you picture lawyers penning fantasy novels, let me clarify. Legal fiction isn't about dragons or wizards, it's way weirder than that. In a nutshell, legal fiction is like pretending something is true, even when we know it's not, to make the legal system work smoothly. Think of it as the legal equivalent of your friend insisting they totally called it after a lucky guess. It sounds bonkers, right? But trust me, this legal sleight of hand is more common than you think, and it plays a surprisingly important role in keeping our legal systems chugging along. So, buckle up as we explore the strange and surprisingly sensible world of legal fiction, where reality takes a back seat to practicality, and things aren't always as they seem. Let's talk about ens legis, a fancy Latin term that basically means a being of law. It's like the legal equivalent of a ghost, something that doesn't really exist in the real world but has a very real presence in the eyes of the law. Imagine a corporation, for example. It's not a physical thing like a building or a person. It's just an idea, a legal construct. But thanks to the magic of ens legis, the law treats it as if it were a real person with rights and responsibilities. This legal phantom limb allows us to interact with abstract concepts like corporations, trusts, or even nations, as if they were flesh and blood entities. It's like giving a voice to the voiceless, allowing these legal creations to participate in the legal system. So next time you hear someone talking about a company suing someone or being held liable for something, remember the invisible hand of ens legis at work, blurring the lines between fiction and reality in the legal realm. Okay, enough with the legal jargon. Let's get down to brass tacks with some real-world examples of legal fiction in action. Remember that corporation we talked about earlier? That's a prime example. By pretending that a company is a person, the law allows it to own property, enter into contracts, and even sue or be sued. All things that wouldn't be possible if we insisted on dealing with corporations as just a bunch of paperwork. Another classic example is adoption. When a child is adopted, the law pretends they were born to their adoptive parents, even though we all know that's biologically impossible. This legal fiction helps create a clean slate for the child and their new family, ensuring they have the same rights and protections as any other family. These are just a couple of examples, but legal fictions pop up everywhere. From maritime law, think ships having nationalities, to estate planning, trusts holding assets as if they were people. Section 4. Why legal fiction matters. Oiling the wheels of justice. Now you might be thinking, why bother with all this pretending? Why not just call a spade a spade? Well, as much as we love simplicity, sometimes a little legal trickery can go a long way in making the legal system more efficient and just. Think of legal fiction as the WD-40 of the legal world. It helps grease the wheels of justice, allowing the law to adapt to new situations and achieve fair outcomes, even when things get messy. For instance, without the legal fiction of corporate personhood, it would be incredibly difficult to hold large companies accountable for wrongdoing. Similarly, adoption would be a legal nightmare without the fiction of legal parentage, making it much harder for families to come together. In short, legal fiction is often a necessary evil, a way to bridge the gap between the rigid letter of the law and the ever-changing realities of life. Section 5. The power of as-if legal fiction and corporate personhood. Let's circle back to corporations for a sec. As we've established, these behemoths are, legally speaking, just figments of our collective imagination. But boy, oh boy, do they pack a punch thanks to the legal fiction of corporate personhood. This as-if principle allows companies to operate with a level of autonomy and influence that would make even the most powerful individuals green with envy. They can lobby politicians, pour money into elections, and even claim some of the same rights as actual human beings. Now, this isn't always a bad thing. Corporate personhood can be a powerful tool for economic growth, enabling businesses to flourish and innovate. But it also raises some thorny questions about accountability and the influence of big money in our legal and political systems. So while the legal fiction of corporate personhood has its merits, it's crucial to remember that with great power comes great responsibility, something that corporations, unlike actual people, don't always seem to grasp.